So we basically have a rectangle and we need 2 of this. I would fold this in half just like this. Then I'll determine the width of this illustration. So we have 6.5 right there. I would mark 5 inches at the top, just like that. And then I'll come in for the armhole. And then I'll also determine the length of the armhole, and then I'll connect it with a curve, just like that. I'll cut that out. And from that point, I'm just going to connect it all the way down with an A line. And we're basically almost done. I'll cut that out and then I'll show you the next step. So the next step will be to cut out the crotch while it's still unfold. And you should have something like this. And we need 2 of this, one for the front and one for the back. So here is my fabric. It's actually unfold. So to determine the width of this jumpsuit, that would be half your hip circumference plus 8 inches. My hip is 40 inches divided by 2, and then I added 8 inches, making it 28. And then the length would be whatever you decide that would be. This is an off-shoulder jumpsuit, so I'll be taking out 6 inches from the length. And then I'm going to fold in 2 inches where the straps would be. So I'm going to mark 20 inches from the fold, and from there I'm going to just connect it all the way down to the end. But before then, I'm going to determine the armhole. So I'm going to mark 3 inches inwards from the 20-inch mark, and then the length will be 4.5 inches. So I'm going to use the French curve to connect this, and then I would cut that out. So from here, I'm just going to mark an A line all the way down to the end. So remember, we took in 20 inches. So from that 20-inch mark, I'm just going to connect it all the way down to the end. So here is the lower part, and that's what it looks like. I'm also going to show you the upper part. So this is the front piece, and we need 2 of this. One for the front piece and the other for the back piece. By the time we add the straps, everything will come together just like this. So I'm going to use this to cut out the next piece, which is the back piece. So I've laid it on my fabric already, so I'm just going to cut out the back piece. So both the front and the back piece have been pinned down together. I'm going to fold in the space for the straps, and then we need to take our crotch measurement. In order to do that, I'm going to take out 6 inches from the length, and then I'm going to mark my waist measurement. So from the off shoulder to my waist is 17, and from 17 inches, my hip measurement is 26. And then from the off shoulder to my crotch measurement, that would be 29. 3 inches added to the hip measurement, which is 29. But because this is going to be a very free jumpsuit, I'll be adding 3 inches extra to the crotch measurement. But you can also add 2 inches, which is also fine. So I'll be connecting the crotch all the way to the end. I'll mark 1.5 inches at the end, and then I'll connect it all the way to the crotch with a slight curve. And then I'll cut that out. So the next thing would be to cut out the pockets for the jumpsuit. I'll be cutting out all 4 pieces, 2 for the front piece and 2 for the back piece. I'll just use my hand to trace out the pockets. I want the length of the pocket to be 9 inches. So in order to fix the pockets, I'm going to mark 25 inches from the top. Remember to take out 6 inches because this is an off-shoulder jumpsuit. So I'll mark 25 inches and from that mark, I would place my pocket. So I'll pin it down and I'll do the same for the other end as well. And then I'll repeat the same process for the back piece. So I just stitched it on my sewing machine and this is what it looks like. Both sides have been stitched and then the back piece as well. So the next thing would be to fold in the upper part, which is the part for the straps. I'm going to fold it twice, pin it down, and then I would run a straight stitch all the way. I would repeat the same process for the back piece. So here is what it looks like. I just ran a straight stitch all the way for both the front and the back piece. The next thing to do would be to join both the front and the back piece together. I'm going to pin them down together and then I would run a straight stitch on both sides. And here is what it looks like. Both sides have been joined together and we have the pocket fixed already. The next stage would be to join the crotch together. So I'm going to turn this to the wrong side. And then I'm going to pin down the crotch. Right sides facing. So I'm just going to go run a straight stitch all the way down. And by the time we're done doing that, I'm just going to place notches. So I just stitched the crotch. I'm going to place notches. So we are placing the notches because this is a curve. So the next thing would be to fix the straps. So I cut out 2 straps, 30 inches long and 3 inches wide straps. That would be for the upper part like I showed you earlier. So for each of the straps, I'm just going to fold it like this. And then I'll pin it down. I would run a straight stitch and then I'll turn it to the other side and I'll repeat the same for the other strap as well. And here is what it looks like. It's been fixed already to the upper part. So the last part would be to hem the bottom part of the jumpsuit. And you're basically done.